Asthma has become the most common chronic disease among children. Experts say it's on the rise in our metros. In fact, not just asthma, a lot of respiratory illnesses in general are affecting children more than ever before. Shai Venkatraman reports.
It's become the most common chronic disease among children. Pediatric asthma, experts say, is on the rise in our metros. And not just asthma, but respiratory illnesses in general are affecting our children much more than before. Here's a report.
He used to always have cough and cold, like that. He used to fall sick, he used to have a little bit of temperature and all that.
The pollution usually causes a lot of cold. She falls ill more often.
It's perhaps the most common complaint you will hear from a parent in Mumbai. What if it's no longer just a routine cough and cold that's affecting your child, but something more severe, like chronic sinusitis where the sinus gets inflamed, or rhinitis which affects the nose, or asthma, a chronic inflammatory lung disease that causes airways to tighten and narrow, causing difficulty in breathing.
इसलिए वो जब ब्रेथलेस हो जाता था तो उसे देखा नहीं जाता था हम लोगों को. एक्चुअली हम लोग रोए, मैं भी और मेरी वाइफ भी.
Vinayak Parkar's son Sahil was diagnosed with asthma when he was just 6 months old, and although there is a family history, he was unprepared for the severity of the attacks. Experts say that like asthma, respiratory disorders among children in Mumbai is on the rise. A recent study by KEM Hospital shows that it affects 1 in 6 children between 10 to 15 years, while another study by Bombay Hospital says 10% of children have respiratory disorders today, as compared to 2% a decade ago.
Particularly the chronic ones like asthma are becoming very common in the city now. The genetic people of course are there, but there are quite a few who don't have any genetic constitution which is required in an asthma attack. But they also are getting. That means is the environment and your gene setup. They are interacting in a bad manner.
So what can one do to protect our children? Why are our children getting affected? For one, experts say it shows just how polluted the environment is, and children are more vulnerable because they have smaller bronchial tracts. The other reason is Mumbai is hot and humid, which makes it a perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes and cockroaches, which act as triggers.
If you make sure that you are not using completely AC houses, keep them well ventilated. Unnecessarily carpeting is bad. Too much of use of chemicals at home, like for example the floor cleaners and the toilet cleaners, which are very highly concentrated chlorine solutions. If we don't use them, if we don't use those mosquito repellents which are smoky, too much of air freshness, I'm sure asthma would be controlled.
In Mumbai, Shai Venkatraman, NDTV.